Hello and welcome to another episode of one of my wonderful ideas on a meal that I would like to show you that I conjured up in this crazy head of mine somewhere, just thinking about it randomly throughout the day. I want to show you how to make my version of the Fathead Pie. Yes, fathead crust on the bottom, fathead crust on top, packed full of meat and cheese, deliciousness that the whole family would love to enjoy and have seconds and eat it many times. Let's get into the making. Okay, here we go with the lovely ingredients. I bought 1 bag of pre-cubed Colby Monterey Jack cheese. I have a 6-pack edition of the Philadelphia cream cheese from Sam's Club. I got some 80-20 ground beef and pork blend. A bag of shredded mozzarella cheese. You don't have to buy shredded. There are healthier options. This does have anti-caking agents in it. So, if you got a brick of cheese, you would have to shred it yourself. This is a lazy weekend for me. I've been doing really strict for the last 2 months. I'm actually going to let loose for about a week here and just kind of relax a little bit and make some more comforting foods. That's what this is all about. A bag of almond flour, some garlic powder, a stick of Kerrygold garlic herb butter. This is an option. You don't have to have this. I went out and got a nice baking pan. I wanted to get some nicer tools so I can do my videos and show you guys something more appealing to the eye and not so plasticky and dull and no color to it. And I went out and bought a brand new see-through bowl so you guys can see what I'm doing. I got a nice brand new non-stick pan about 2 weeks ago so you guys can look at something nicer than the old stuff that was handed down to me. And I went ahead and picked up this handy dandy bakery sheet where you can roll your dough out to exactly the pie size that you need. 16 inches out here for pizzas, 7 inches in here for tortillas. You want to make some low-carb tortillas. So, pies 8, 9, 10. So I'm making a 9-inch crust. I take this pie and I stick it on top of this pan. It's almost exactly to that ring. It gives me some overlap so I can go ahead and mesh my top layer in with my bottom layer. Let's get to mixing the dough. So I forgot to tell you guys that I am using a little bit of, I'm using egg as well. I didn't put that in the first video with the ingredients. You also have to have egg. 2 eggs to be exact. I've got 3 cups, actually 4 eggs you'll have to have. I've got 3 cups of shredded cheese in here and about 1/8 of a stick of cream cheese. I just cut about 1/8 of a stick off, that's all. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's about 2 or 3 tablespoons of cream cheese, that's all. I'm going to pop this in the microwave. I'm going to melt this down. I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to mix it together with a like a baking spoon, any kind of regular spoon, and then I'm going to take my almond flour and put it in there. I'll be back with that video. Alrighty, I just pulled this out of the microwave. I'm stirring it up a little bit, get that cream cheese in there real good. Let it cool down just a little bit. I put it in there for 2 minutes is what I did it for. 2 minutes might have been just a hair too long. But, looks like it came together pretty good. So, now, I'll come back after I get my 2 cups of almond flour dumped in here. Okay. Took a 1.5 cups of almond flour and dumped it in here. Not 2 cups. 1.5 cups did just fine. And 2 eggs. And I went ahead and mashed it all up while it's still warm. If it gets too hard to work, go ahead and put it back in the microwave for another 15 seconds. Try it again. If it's still not enough, put another 15 seconds. Try it again. This is good enough right here to where I can work it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out of here and I'm going to make a 9-inch pie crust on this baking sheet underneath me, and then I'm going to lay it into my pie pan. We'll be back for that. Now that I've got it rolled out to the 9-inch crust that I want, I'm going to have to take this whole sheet and dump it upside down on top of this pie pan. That way I won't have to fight taking this thing off of it. That's why I like this baking sheet. I'll be back after I get it in the tin or in the pan. Well, here we are. Pie crust is dumped in there and it's spread all the way around it, nice and easy. I've got my meat going ahead. I'm starting to brown it in the skillet. I'm going to drain the fat out of it. When I drain the fat out of that, I'm going to take about 2 cups of the cubed cheese and I'm going to put it inside there and mix it together and fill this pie crust up. I'm going to go ahead in the meantime while this is cooking and make my second pie crust to get ready to lay over top of it. I'll be back. Alright, I went ahead and stuck my crust in the oven at 425 for about 10 minutes just to get enough brown and get this to set up real good. I've got my meat pushed over to one side, trying to get some of the grease out of there. I'm going to go ahead and spoon the meat into here and put my cubes of cheese, just whatever you feel, about 2 cups, 3 cups, whatever you think is right. I'm just going to eye it. And then I'll go ahead and get my top ready to put over the top of it. But right now, I'm stopping where I'm at, just enough to get this set up and spoon everything over and put the cheese in. I'll be right back when I put the cheese and the ground beef in before I put the top on so you can see what it looks like. Be right back. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's full of meat and cheese. I forgot to do it before I put the top on. Again, I had to carry the platter or the paper over here, start the edge of it, and then roll the whole thing on just to get it on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back all the way over to the edges, and I'm going to go ahead and just press everything in real nice, trying to get it to mold to the one that's underneath. I should have actually kind of overlapped it a little bit more, but it draws back once you get it on. And then what I'll do is I'll take some garlic butter, Kerrygold, and I will top this with some garlic butter Kerrygold after it's been in the oven about 10 minutes. I'll reheat it again. Let's see, I didn't quite need to make as much, but it'll do. Let's see here. Let's see how this comes out after I get this all pressed in. I'll put some little holes in the top of it like some people do a regular pie. Maybe a little fancy. I think what I should have did was not cooked it so long so the top bonds to the bottom, or go ahead and put the bottom crust in and fill it. Don't put it in the oven first, and then this would have meshed on the edges better. I still think it'll be okay. I still think it'll be fine. It's gonna do just fine. And then get my hands wet when I do this. Makes it easier to work with it. Now I'm just going to go around, poke some little holes in it, and I'm going to put it in the oven. Spread some butter and garlic on top now, and then about 15-20 minutes after I get it in, and then right before I take it out. Okay, let's cook it. I'll be back with the finished product. Don't do like me and leave it in for 30 minutes. I have it on 425 for 30 minutes. I should have checked it at about the 15-20 minute mark. But I wanted to make sure everything inside there really melted, all that cheese and stuff that's inside this. It just all depends on what you want. If this is what I think it's going to be, I'll enjoy every bit of it, even though it's kind of crusty like this. Looks like it'll lift off of that. Looks like it might be fine. We shall see. I'll cut a slice and show you what it looks like inside. Guys, the meat pie turned out wonderful. The crust, a little bit done like this, like I have it, actually holds together a little bit better. You really can cut into it nice and easy. It doesn't taste burnt or anything at all. So maybe it's meant to be like this because it's very stable and it's very, you can really easily cut through it even when it's dark like this, and it holds together very, very well. The one thing I wish I would have done was put a little bit more cheese inside. But that last 6 or 7 cubes in the microwave just melted with a little bit of butter real quick, mixed up, and then tossed over the top of it. Oh my God. I mean, perfect. I love it. I hope you guys love this recipe. It's just something I thought of on a whim and said, why not give it a shot? The fathead crust on this is my own recipe. I didn't follow anybody's. I just thought about all the ones that I've seen and came up with my own and figured out my own consistency, and this is my way of doing it, not anybody else's. So, I hope you enjoy. Thanks, guys. Keto on, carnivore on, and remember, this is your journey. You got to live it, not anybody else. Try to do it the healthy way. Thanks. God bless.